podcast.
Thank you, Rich, for having me as always. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I know you have some big things happening in your personal life, so thanks for talking to us before the baby arrives.
Well, I'm actually 38 weeks pregnant as of today.
So you're about ready.
Yes, in 2 weeks, let's say.
Right on. Well, hey, thanks for coming back on the podcast and helping with this subject. We get a lot of questions, and I was going to see if we could just jump right in. And we just had some recent changes. Can we just jump right in and you tell us what's going on, please?
Yes, so basically on March 1st, immigration published a new resolution indicating, and I want to be clear here, and I want to translate it literally because there is so much confusion on the internet, on articles. So I'm going to take a moment just to translate this literally to English because people are misinterpreting it, okay? So the General Direction of Immigration authorizes through an administrative resolution an extension for a last time to the legal permanence of all foreigners that have entered the national territory after December 17th, 2019, and that keep a valid insurance until June 2nd, 2021. Okay, this is the first important part of the resolution. The next important part of the resolution, and I again translate literally, says to be able to stay until such date, the tourists need to have an insurance that covers at least lodging and expenses in case of contracting COVID-19, and it's an obligation to send the proof of the insurance policy to seguros@ict.go.cr so that the Costa Rican Tourism Institute can proceed to validate that insurance. The third important point of this resolution says that the insurance can be any of the ones offered by the insurance companies that are authorized and duly registered before the General Insurance Superintendent of Costa Rica, or a travel insurance with international coverage. Okay, so from this previous resolution reach, I want to highlight and summarize important points to clarify a lot of confusion that is going on. So the first thing is that this resolution is firm, is official, and it's already being informed. You can find in the internet people saying, oh, it's pending to be published, or it has not been made via a decree, or is waiting to be official. And this is not true. As of March 1st, it's official, it's firm, and it's already in application. Okay, so already a person or a tourist that their tourist visa had expired and that has buy insurance until June 2nd and send the proper email, automatically the visa gets extended, okay? The point number 2 that I want to clarify here is that the resolution does not make any difference or exception between tourists, because also I am reading in the internet or in sources that have even been affirming that this only applies for tourists that enter in December 17, 2019 and until November 30 of 2020. And as lawyers, as my job as an attorney is, of course, the correct interpretation of the law and the resolutions. And I cannot interpret a resolution in a restrictive way when the resolution is not restricted itself. So the resolution is clear, and our criteria is that it applies to all tourists that have entered the country after December 17th, 2019. No exceptions made in this resolution. Okay, so any idea or any information that is there that says the opposite is not confirmed yet.
So, Nicole, if somebody's already in the country, what does this all mean for them?
This means that they can stay until June 2nd of this year if they want to, just by extending their insurance policy and sending the email of the proof of the policy to the email that I mentioned before.
Okay. And for people who want to visit, what does this mean?
So if you are a perpetual tourist, this applies to you. And if you are just a tourist that just entered the country, applies to you as well.
Gotcha. Are there any particular points that you'd like to make about the controversy surrounding what the new changes mean?
Yes, of course. The first controversy is the driver's license. Of course, everybody is asking like, okay, so if I buy insurance, I'm going to get automatically a legal stay until June 2nd. However, the MOPT is the institution in charge of determining if driver's license are valid or not, and they have not pronounced yet regarding this matter. This means you can stay until June 2nd if you have the insurance, but we don't know yet if you are going to be legal to drive.
That's a good point. What else?
Okay, another thing is that some people, because immigration is working different now for those that are interested in applying for residency, immigration is working different. So they're working through appointments. This means they're not accepting that you go in person and submit a residency application. You have to make an appointment first. And there is this, some controversy there. Because the first thing is that people are asking me, if I have an appointment already set to start my residency application, do I need to also buy the insurance until June 2nd if I'm already going to start a residency, right? And the answer is no, you're not forced to, because you're not a regular tourist. You're a tourist that has an appointment to start a residency application soon. Okay, so you could get the insurance, but it's not 100% necessary, right? Another thing, Rich, is that many people also ask me what happens during the period that my tourist visa got expired until I get to start my residency application. Because, for example, maybe the tourist visa expired in March 2nd, and this person has already an appointment to start the residency. And the appointment is until June, for example. So what happens in the period between March and June if the person does not decide to apply for the automatic visa extension, right, until June 2nd? I don't know if you follow me there.
It sounds like it'd be easy to get confused.
Yes.
Well, heck, I'm already confused between MOPT, got to wait for them, and now I got to figure out.
You know, this country, there's so many incongruences right now, is what people has to understand. And I think that actually, aside from all of these incongruences, immigration is trying to adjust. And this last decision of extending the tourist visa is actually to encourage the tourism, right? But anyways, going back to what I was saying is, when I have an appointment to start my residency application, I'm not forced to buy this insurance until June 2nd. So what happens between the period that my tourist visa is expired and until I start my application? So during this period, it is said that because of the circumstances that we are at, you're not going to be considered 100% legal, but also not 100% illegal. They say that you can stay in the country waiting for your application to be submitted. So you would be like in this gray zone, right?
All right.
Yes, it's not I cannot, as an attorney, I cannot tell you, oh yeah, just make the appointment and you're 100% fine, because this is not in any law or in any resolution. So, it's in a gray zone. And another very important controversy, Rich, is that I have been hearing many sources or some lawyers or some articles that recommend to people that their intention is not to to start a residency application. They're being recommended just, make an appointment to buy some time in Costa Rica. Make an appointment at immigration, buy some time. We charge you $25, $50 to help you set up an appointment, and that's it. You can stay. And I want to be very clear that people should be very careful with this, because if you are a tourist and your intention is not to start a residency application, or if, for example, you're a perpetual tourist and you don't qualify for residency yet, I would never, ever recommend to make an appointment to buy some time, right? Why? Because this is really hindering the appointment system.
I say the whole system would get clogged with, yeah.
Yeah, so imagine 2 weeks ago when I called for my clients that are actually wanting to start an application process, I got the appointment for 3 weeks later. If I call today, appointments are already until August.
Oh, man.
This means many people have been making appointments. And I just want to say this is not ethical. I mean, for people that are actually in process of waiting for their residency to be approved, or for people that actually want to start their residency soon, this is not a benefit. I mean, this is just collapsing the system. So
we already have enough issues with systems trying to collapse. We don't need to add to it.
Exactly. So I want to say publicly here that please, please, please don't make appointments in vain. And if your intention is not yet to start residency application, just get the insurance until June 2nd. You will have automatic extension of your visa until June 2nd. And after that, Costa Rica borders are open. It's not that we're closed, so you can go out and come back in. However, there are requirements to enter Costa Rica, insurance for COVID, return ticket, and fill out the health pass. I do understand that it's complicating for perpetual tourists because they're not able to do the border runs anymore because there is still remained closed for tourists. But I don't recommend to make appointments if you're not starting the application.
Nicole, I was trying to ask you a question, but I can't come up with it because I just keep coming back to my mind. It sounds like just hurry up and wait for June 2nd.
Because it kind of is, Rich, because I mean, a perpetual tourist, they should just wait until June 2nd. After that, I mean, we don't know if immigration is gonna re-extend again, what happened just now, like one day before the tourist visa expired, they announced this. And very late, not even in the morning. So already many people did their border runs. Many people are pissed with the Costa Rican government.
They're right now.
And I do understand the frustration because also I think, why do it on the last moment? Because of course, I mean, also for Ministry of Health, well, not Ministry of Health, but for sanitary reasons, you should care more of announcing this sooner so people don't go to, Mexico or who knows where, just for 3 days to come back and be able to have a valid tourist visa again. So it's frustrating, I understand.
I got you. So people around here might not need to go to Nicaragua, or maybe they do, or maybe they can, or maybe they can't. We're not going to know till June anyway.
Yes. So what happened is that the borders, there's a resolution that indicated that borders are going to land borders are going to remain closed during March.
Okay.
This could change in April, or this could change in June when this tourist visa extension is over. And maybe by then they would be able to start doing border runs again. But we don't know.
All right. So hurry up and wait. What else are people asking you these days? What are some of your most commonly asked questions?
So basically people are asking me, many people are interested now in residency because all of these situation. So the main question is, if I start my residency application, am I able to stay in the country? So with a residency file open with your file number, you're legal to stay in the country until immigration approves your residency. If it takes 1 year, 1 year, 2 years, 2 years. Right now, typically, and I'm gonna say this because immigration is collapsing, a residency process can take 1.5 years to 2, right? Depending. But if immigration takes that long, you're able to legally stay for that period. However, your driver's license is not going to be valid because it's valid only for the period that the tourist visa is valid for. Okay. Another question I'm getting is, because I don't know, it's like the news around town, they're just going around. It's like, do I do FBI fingerprints for American citizens? And the answer is yes. We're doing those in the office for clients and for non-clients as well, for non-residency clients as well. So because some people, they need their background check report, and immigration only accepts the one done through fingerprints. So right now, people don't want to go back to USA just to do that. So we're offering to do that, and also the RCMP for Canadians.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to get out there that you want people to know about, or?
People also ask me, when can I actually obtain a Costa Rican driver's license? And it's until you are approved residency. That's the answer.
Got it. So no way of getting a license until your residency is established.
Exactly.
Are there any issues for Nosara residents that you want them to know that we didn't cover, or anything else you'd like to cover for anyone in the Nosara area?
Okay, download our guide. The residency guide is free, is there. You can study it. And because we wanted to make this guide for people, this residency guide for people to, okay, stop reading on the internet, like, oh, but I heard this and I heard this. So there is this residency guide that we created, and you can download it. It's free. And it talks about all the type of residency categories that exist and the general requirements, the documents that they will have to obtain. So for anybody interested in residency, after hearing about, all these tourist visa extension processes, and, if they don't want to be like waiting for the government to decide what happens next, like, I think it's the time to start thinking, okay, maybe it's time that I get residency. Been living here a long time.
Okay, so I'm going to take a stab at giving a synopsis of everything that you're saying today. Number one, if you're interested in residency, go get your free residency guide, download it, and get started right there. Number two, if you're not actually going to apply for residency, don't go clog up the system just so you can stick around. Please don't do that, because the people who really do want residency need to get through. Next point, wait till June 2nd for all the people who have all the various questions, because these things are happening at the very last moment, as we just saw a couple days ago when they just changed the entire procedure, which is why we're recording this right now. So your advice is, if you're here, be cool. Don't go apply for residency unnecessarily. Wait till June 2nd and figure out if you're doing a border run, if you're a perpetual tourist, or if you're going to go ahead and move into some either residency or just leave altogether. So wait till June 2nd to see what's up. driver's license is only valid for a certain period of time. So even if you do stay past June 2nd, your driver's license is probably nil and void. So be careful.
Until MOP announces if they're gonna extend validity until June 2nd as well. We don't know.
Okay.
Last time they extended, they extend the validity of the driver's license until March 2nd. The same validity, the same period that immigration was giving people to stay, they decided to give for that same period a valid driver's license.
That makes sense. All of it makes sense. It does. It does. Well, thanks for what you're doing. Thanks for being there. Best wishes in your coming days and weeks and months. This is one of the most exciting times of your life, and I'm so happy. We all are.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here and an honor. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. You have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode. We have a whole bunch of episodes on richburnham.com or my YouTube channel, Rich Burnham. And if you want audio only, go to wherever you get your podcast and check out the Nosara podcast with Rich Burnham.